Hello people who play Minecraft. You're looking right here at a furnace design. This design has you put drops into the top water stream, which goes to the hoppers, pushing them into the furnace. At the back, there's another set of hoppers with another water stream that you can put fuel in. I've already taken the opportunity to fuel this all up. The hoppers down here take the drops from the furnace and move them into the chest over here. I might notice that I'm not exactly showing you the right because I want to show you an improvement I think I've made to this design. Now, I first saw this design, what Xisuma did, and I modified it a bit because of a problem that you have when you're smelting. Now, usually if you're doing this and you're going to be gone for a while in the area, it's not too bad, but watch what happens. If I just dropped a stack of items in here, and I come down, notice how all of the items are being fed into this furnace. In fact, a total of 6 stacks of an item will go into this one furnace, which means it'll take as long as it takes one furnace to smelt 6 stacks. Now, with the exact same concept I did over here, except the top water stream is now using a minecart with a chest. And this already has 1 stack. I'm going to send this on its way, and the minecart is going to just keep on going back and forth and back and forth. Now, the detector rail here has a comparator, which whenever a minecart with the chest is over a detector rail, a comparator can actually query to see about how many items are in it percentage-wise based upon the length of the, you know that already. The redstone signal travels a certain distance. The repeater, of course, will make it go the full length. Now, what this does is I have this set up here so that it powers this powered rail enough for it to keep on going back and forth. But as you can see, when the minecart runs out of items in its chest, the detector rail no longer gives power to the comparator. I'm sorry. And as you can see, all the hoppers have been giving this stuff into it. So the distribution of what you're smelting is more spread out. As you can see, we already have 32 iron here, and we already have 7 iron there. And this will just increase quicker because unless you're smelting a whole bunch of stuff, then if you just have one furnace doing the work for a stack or up to 6 stacks of something, it's only going to be the speed of that one furnace. But by distributing it somewhat evenly across these other furnaces, you can see it piles up a lot quicker. And we're almost done here. It does not distribute it completely evenly. That's because of the speed of the minecart. As it goes along here, it loses speed, and it loses speed again. And so you have the ends that are, for some reason, tend to get a little bit more in them, especially right here. This is probably because it spends more time right here because of this powered rail. But anyway, that's basically how it works. This design, if you do not have a whole bunch of items to smelt, does end up being faster as far as the furnace design goes. This is just burning the rest of it. Oops, wrong thing. And this one is still going, and I even started this one first. So, yeah. As you can imagine, it's probably faster whenever you use pretty much anything. The only time that these would be about the same speed is if you had enough stacks to fill all furnaces, which means that you'd have to get 6 stacks here, 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, and at least 1 here. And of course the same here. That's about the only time that it'd be about the same speed. Otherwise, by distributing what you're trying to smelt across multiple furnaces, you do speed up the production time. So this is how it works. It's the same design over here, except instead of the top water stream, you place tracks above it. You place a detector rail 1 block away from it, because otherwise the detector rail will power this hopper and it'll stop it from picking up items. And it will still pick up some items, like as it comes back here, but not as it goes this way, and so it doesn't evenly distribute it as much. Anyway, you have a space here, and then you have a powered rail over here. Let me change the time to day real quick. And the reason that you have it separated here as opposed to a powered rail right here, which would be less, less distance and it go back and forth faster, and be a tad more even, is because the detector rail technically will power any other block. But the only time it gives power to a comparator is if, there's something in a chest or hopper inside the minecart. So if I had a power rail here, it would always power the rail each time this chest would go over it. Otherwise, the repeaters are set up this way in order to give enough time for this power rail to remain active. So you have a comparator that comes off this detector rail here, goes into a block that then splits a signal into 2. Now the reason I had it go into a block here is because if the minecart only had like one item in it left, and you had a Well, I suppose you could do it with a single piece of redstone. But I did a block just for fun anyway. Technically less resources, although now you can get as much redstone as you want with witch farms. But anyway, this repeater is set with no delay at all. That's as much as possible anyway. This one is set to no ticks. This one is set all the way back, and then this one is set to none. And this gives power to the powered rail enough time for it to come back and go back again. Now, if this is running and it's going back and forth, and you log out and log back in, it may not look like it goes all the way against this block, but then again, it also looks like it pushes into this block as well. So that's a graphical glitch that you may encounter whenever that's happening. That one's still going. Let me just grab some iron ore real quick and show you what I mean. So this is going back and forth. Oh, let's also watch to see how quickly it gets out of the chest. 4745, 42. Okay, so it's going along merrily, merrily, merrily. We save and quit the title. We go single player, back to the demo world. And it's not glitching through this time. It did it for me earlier. You may see it glitching through, apparently. It's not all the time. Anyway, it does obviously keep doing that until it gets rid of all its items. Now, you may initially think that, okay, so if it's being distributed like that, it's not going into the hoppers as fast. Well, it does make another round before the item has a chance to smelt. So, I mean, you obviously see that it is indeed faster. We're just under half a stack left, and we're already almost done with this stack. So, time it took me to smelt 2 stacks of iron ore and talk for a bit long-winded of a talk. And this one's still going over here. So anyway, this is my design, inspired by and improved from, at least I think improved, and I say that humbly, Xisuma's design. And yeah, this has a little button to get it started at first, otherwise this keeps it powered. The only thing is, though, that in order to get to the water stream to give the fuel, you would have to do it from the other side, or else have some sort of weird setup where you go all the way around and come all the way back here. So you can't have your entrance on both sides like you can on this design. You could potentially do the same track design for the back furnaces, to the back of the furnaces over here. I have not done that, but it is definitely possible to repeat this process. I have not experimented with it at all, so I don't know if you could make it on the next layer. Let's see. Yeah, you probably could fit it right beneath this. I'll have to play around with that, but that shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Otherwise, you can just repeat the same pattern over here. But yeah. Anyway, 1 furnace left, and this one's probably already, yeah, it's already done anyway. Got 2 stacks of iron over here. Got 3/4 of a stack over here. So there you have it. This will take 2 powered rails. One, I used a redstone torch here. You can obviously use a lever. You could even put a redstone block right here to give power to this rail. You need 1 comparator, 4 repeaters, and 4 or 5 redstone if you decide to use a redstone dust here. And just a few extra building blocks, depending upon your design of your furnace room. And a button. And a minecart with a chest. And rails. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you like it.